Hey guys, Bolt here, and welcome to another rewrite of the Miraculous Season 2. Um, I've been meaning to do this. I'm sorry, just lots been happening. I'm trying to catch back up. Um, with tonight, I should be able to. Well, I need to set up for Christmas. Once that's done, I have to record for 2 Bolt videos, and then I will set up the Christmas stuff. That way we can just start knocking out videos and stuff. Um, anyways, I need to get going because it is Thanksgiving when I'm doing this, and I do gotta go to family. Um, so I'm gonna quickly go through this and then upload it while I'm gone. Um, luckily, there's only 5 pages, so this will be pretty quick versus the season 1. So. Anyways, let's get going. So, season 2, episode 1, repost. This is the 3rd week of May. Kagami enters, and Adrian becomes her friend, mirroring what Nino did for him. So, this is the first episode of. We finally meet Kagami. This sets up kind of like the possible romance between them. But for the most part, it's also just like Adrian extending the same branch that Nino did on his first day to Kagami to have another friend of her own. This is also when we start really seeing Mari's crush, because now we have another love interest. We're starting to see her jealous side a lot more, and it's very in your face in this instance. Um, the teaser for this will be that Nino invites is Nino is invited to a game show, which leads into episode 2, the final week of May, which is Simon Says. Um, so I did forget to mention this in the beginning that this is the last season where I will care about like where time is placed. Because technically, season 1 and season 2 is supposed to be the first year of Miraculous. Um, that way, Heroes Day is their anniversary. Okay. Oh, 1 second, wait. Check. Oh. Gotta go pay a bill after this. That's fun. Um, basically, Heroes Day will be the 1 year anniversary of, they'll be in 10th grade. Alongside, they'll be in their they'll start their second year of being heroes. Um, anyways, the final week of May is Simon Says. We meet Alex again. Alec. He's the guy that we seen in Stormy Weather that kind of ruined votes for that one because of his higher ups. We show more of his Alex's personality. In this episode is used for more hints on Gabriel. So by this point, we've only seen Hawkmoth. And Santa Claus is the first time we get to see Gabriel in person. And their voices are different. That way you can't tell immediately. But we start seeing kind of the when Simon is doing his tricks, they're wanting him to hypnotize Gabriel, and Gabriel, it feels like a setup the entire time. So it very feels coincidental for Gabe and Hawkmoth. So this is like the setup of the reveal for him. The teaser is a kid is having bad dreams as an Akuma approaches, which is episode 3, which I will be skipping to the second week of June for Sandboy. This shows more of Hawkmoth's desperation measures. We see Nightmare Adrian kind of seeing Marinette's headspace of him. For the most part, she's thinking, instead of it just being a lost love to her worst fears, it's mostly, while yes, there is going to be like her making fun of having a crush on him, but for the most part, it's going to be showing that her insecurity of, is he true? Like, is that him being Chloe's friend ever going to come back up and bite me in the butt? I don't want it to just be the crush aspect for this one. It's kind of show that Marinette, even though that they are friends, there's always in the back of her mind, is he going to turn leaf on us? And then this shows underlying problems with her thinking. Like I said, also several times gives jump scares, possible chances to reveal identity. Okay. So basically, he'll be kind of like, he'll be showing up, and it'll kind of be a jump scare for the viewer, and for Marinette especially. But Nightmare Adrian will actually follow into the battle with Sandboy. And while he doesn't know it's Marinette as Ladybug, he knows that she's in the area. And this gives Chat Noir the ability to actually see, and this kind of shows him that there is a fear of someone has a fear of him being a backstabber, or at least being someone so cruel. And I think him later on the episode kind of coming out with it, not showing right off the rip, I saw this. No, just like, he wants to kind of show that he's starting to distance himself from Chloe. That way he shows to people that he's on their side rather than Chloe's. For Nightmare Bug, let's see, where was I? This is just a gag with her in control of her lucky charm. Also, Shat's fears are getting rejected. So more jump scares every now and again. In the middle of the fight with Sandboy, similar to how Nightmare Adrian comes in to kind of look for Marinette, Nightmare Bug is always on his back, and while she's putting mostly down about him being a bad partner to Ladybug, the biggest part that Ladybug might make a small note of is that because he has not come out that he has a crush on her or any romantic feelings towards her. At this point, the only time he went to go do anything was Dark Cupid, but he did not show his feelings because it was a bad day with the Akuma. But I would like every now and again, like Nightmare Bug says her thing, but like maybe twice, she makes sentences that start to hint at his liking of Ladybug, which I think maybe the first time she doesn't catch it and doesn't get to register it properly, but the second time she kind of looks at Cat like, what was that about? Why did you do something to shut her up so fast? So she thinks that maybe Shat's hiding something from her. The teaser is that there's an understudy jealous of Maylene's dad, which goes into episode 4, the third week of June, with the mime. We meet Maylene's father, who's kind of like an actor. This episode shows the hero's creativity, just because they gotta imagine what powers the mime has possessed on them, like the boxes, the cages. They gotta be able to deal with their own imagination to get out of the traps and stuff. Moving on to the teaser, we're gonna start with the Summer Music Fest is announced, and thanks to Julica's mom, our main class is getting able to help set up for it, and we meet a few of the celebrities of the universe. So this Summer Music Festival is like a miniature arc, where it's kind of like a lot of like, it's a lot of people that have to do with music or Jagged Stone. That's the biggest why I'm like, I wanted to crunch these few Akumas together in this time. Moving on to episode 5 would be Captain Hard Rock, Julica's Julica's mother, Anarchy. We meet Luca for the first time, which, sets up the love interest with Marinette. Even though I don't personally like Luca and Marinette, while he does have hints of that care that can be shown as a crush or romantic feelings, I think most of his part will be a supportive role, with small hints at it, and he's not being extremely forward with it. The setup for the festival, they set up for the festival thanks to the class. Marinette recognizes by a talent for her creativity. Anarchy has a feud with Roger as the second her house boat doesn't follow a code. He tickets her. So basically, Roger's looking for a reason to ticket Anarchy, and which leads into her akumatization. I would say this is also the episode. I think this would be proper. Okay, never mind. So Marinette's in the atmosphere and known by these celebrities, thanks to Anarchy. It's hinted at that Anarchy and Roger may not have. They might have a rivalry or something else in the background going on. The teaser for this one is that there's a poster for Claire Nightingale. She's setting up a contest for a Ladybug Chat Noir music video, and of course, people can do background dancing and singing, but they're really looking for the Ladybug Chat Noir for the video. Episode 6, Frightened Gale. After identifying, after the identity scare we normally get, but mostly the downfall of the mayor. Okay. So while there is an identity scare here, this is where the citizens really start to, like, yes, we had the Roger cop, where, like, people like firefighters and police said, we're for the people, we're not controlled by the mayor of our city. And of course, people saying you can't take away people's jobs just because they don't do what you tell them to. But this one is him fully, what would you call it? Fully abusing his power, trying to shut down Frightened Gale, Nightingale because his daughter didn't get what she wanted, and she had proper paperwork and all that. He's just trying to pull the rug underneath her, and this is one of the moments where everyone is just done with Anthony. Um, so it's kind of just like everyone's completely, even with like the small, like he does good stuff as a mayor, um, but he's still like this is the one that they just rip and see the infected wound, basically. Um, let's see here. The teaser is that Jagged is getting stalked by someone with a camera, which goes into episode 7, which is Pixelator, with Andrea. Um, Adrian getting stuck. This brings up the question: what should what something happens if their lives? Wait, what? Oh, they're basically Pixelator. All Marinette and Ladybug, Marinette, Marinette and Adrian are in like areas where they're going to be noticed a lot. Well, Marinette is able to kind of get away for the most part because she's a solo act. And this is also the episode where she makes the glasses for Jagged, so she makes a relationship with him, a business one. But Adrian gets stuck with Chloe, and this is kind of the way where it's like, okay, say they can't find a reason to get away, or find a perfect reasoning for them to go and transform. They need to have like an idea of what to do or have an understudy. Also, they should try to get help. This is where Mari makes a relationship with Jagged, like I said. And then we tease that Jagged's assistant is starting to get overwhelmed with the just pure amount of stuff that's happening with this festival, which is Penny, who we meet in Troublemaker episode 8. She's running around with her a chicken with her head cut off kind of style. It's nonstop for Jagged in the festival. With Jagged wanting to see where Marinette grew up, he asked for an episode on Alex's show to kind of go over the Dupang Chang bakery. That way he can kind of get into the headspace of this very creative girl. Oh, and then they also hire the Dupang Chang bakery to make pastries and other stuff, other baked goods for the festival. So they're hired and have a huge catering service. And especially for the singers, this way that Dupang Chang bakery has basically they have their number on speed dial. Well, the artists have their number on speed dial because it's like, "Who I want a pastry and or I want certain types. I'll just call up the Dupang Chang bakery." And because they are people with big money, they're just gonna be like, "Hey, can you do this for me?" Well, we don't technically have that on hand. All right, we'll make that for you. Jagged accidentally wanders into Marinette's room. He comes across, oh, and the cameras are following him. Very similar to the original episode. Instead of it being a crush on Adrian, it's all about privacy. Her designs are on full display. Not to mention, she's a woman. There's feminine stuff around the room that she, wouldn't think that someone is coming to visit or like gonna be in her room. So she's not worried about her stuff being out in the open. So it's extremely embarrassing for her. Jagged finds some of her inspiration for designs that happen to be more Adrian. So I will say he will still have. He finds designs, not posters. He finds designs that have Adrian in mind as the model for him. And he still makes the maybe she's more into this Adrian guy than me because he thinks it's her muse in this situation. So while yes, like Adrian still has that. So what's this about? Um, he only does it jokingly, and it's a lot easier to kind of get away with. Hey, you're my friend. You've done stuff for me before, and I just needed to make designs, and you're like the perfect model in mind for these designs. Um, but he's still on her side when it comes to the privacy part. Um, Teasing that Jagged takes notice of. Oh, okay. So Jagged Stone was originally the spotlight artist for this festival, but his what are they called? Um, his manager, his son XY, is an upcoming like remixer, but he's very bad about anything of his own talent, and he just takes people's stuff and kind of like edits it to make it his own. Um, and this gets Jagged heated for episode 9, Guitar Villain. Um, let's see here. So, Ruth, owner of the records company and the producer, is pushing his son XY in the spotlight. Jagged warns him that he'll make himself and any future songs to Gail's company. So, unlike in the future seasons that we see in the main things, we see Bob have like a leash on like the Jagged Stone's career and a lot of the other things. But I think Jagged being such a well-known actor and him being one of the better, I think his contract is very, I can walk away at any time. You just are the one who gets entitlement because of the contract. So if I break this contract, nothing happens to me. You just lose my music. So I think it would be good setup for that. And this also kind of avoids. I'll have to deal with it when it comes up, like that one episode where Bob does get akumatized, and he's trying to get Luca's like signing to like own all of any of Luca's music. I'll figure out what to do when that episode comes up. But it's just like Jagged is such a big talent. I don't think with someone like Penny by his side, I don't think a contract would be as one-sided, you know. And then with Gail being right there, they're very friendly with one another, and just like it's an open invitation for Jagged just to hop over to her. May not be the most well-known of the companies, but he'd probably have a better, like, positive time over there. Basically, if Bob keeps going against him, he'll do so. We also meet his pet alligator, Fang. We tease that Sabine's cousin is coming to Paris for a food competition, which going into episode 10 is Kung Food. This just kind of extends our Duping Chang family with, what is it? Yeah, it would be Sabine's cousin from China, I think it is, because I think they're Chinese. And we have Ladybug and Chat Noir separated to kind of deal with things differently. Because Chat's stuck outside the building. He's trying to calm people down. Um, Trying to evacuate the area the best he can. Eventually, he does get his way into the building. But Ladybug's working her way all the way up to the roof to fight the akumatized villain. Well, Chat Noir is behind her, kind of getting people out. And they eventually do meet up for the final battle. This way, both heroes are doing something that the public can see. This way, it's not just Ladybug, Ladybug, Ladybug. Chat Noir is a good hero and is not a sidekick. We tease for episode 11 that Chloe's butler has been, basically he's had enough with being pushed around, because the job can only go so far when with whatever money you provide someone, and that goes into Despair Bear. The butler turns out to be the only one else than Adrian to pay Chloe attention. He tries to give her the teddy bear that he gifted her when she was little on her birthday. Because you kind of see the relationship. Anthony's so worried about him being mayor and this bigger power. Well, just like, oh, what's her name? Miss Fashion Queen, how it's nothing to do with this family. Like, the only reason she pops by is just like, her husband's a mayor of Paris, nonetheless. So I think his name is Jean. Him giving something to kind of appease a child to where her parents are not there for her. I think it would be okay to say such a thing. She rips the teddy bear to kind of remind him he's just the butler. So this thing that was a symbol of their bond and kind of the last piece of the little girl he knew, he akumatizes. Afterward, he and several staff quit. While yes, he normally sticks around, I think this is one of the things where it's just like, with the growing tension of people just knowing who the bourgeois are now, losing the few loyal people who've been around for years, just because pay and really else than some pushback, they've been fine. I think finally getting the push over the what's it called? It's the scar that broke the cat's back, I think is what it's called. I think that's kind of what this episode needs to be, is where it's just it bottomed, the support for the bourgeoisies are starting to bottom out. And in this episode, basically I had the summer festival. I wanted to introduce Sabine's cousin, but then we're kind of getting into a mini arc with the bourgeois. That way it's kind of like their downfall is extreme and kamikaze to the ground. We do see, let's see, a lot of people across Paris have had enough with the family. A tease that people are not respecting the mayor's authority. This makes him be akumatized in episode 12, Maledictator. This shows their power over Paris is almost gone. Yes, he does have respect for Ladybug and Chat Noir. And then I think Anthony is he's too far in, but I think this is where he's starting to see that even though he wasn't wanting to be and he was trying to appease his family, he's become the villain, and he needs, like, this is the start of him turning his own leaf, and standing on his own. The teaser is that Chloe's mother is coming to the fashion show that the aggressed brand is setting up. This goes to episode 13 with Style Queen. Of course, this will be a part 1 of the Battle of Queens. We see Audrey. She doesn't give either Chloe or Anthony any kind of respect or love. She only she's only with Anthony because he's the mayor. Her personality is replicated by Chloe, explaining her behavior. She's trying to look for a mother's attention in this way. Tiki gives Marinette Foo's address because she does get sick. Well, actually, no. I think it just be like, hey, Lucky Charm, there's where we need to go. And they travel to Foo's. He explains him being the Guardian. He explains the Miraculous and what their original intent were. We meet Waze. She borrows the Be Miraculous. She gets the Be Miraculous, but loses it, very similar, when trying to give it to Alia. Gets knocked out of her hand as it falls down the tower. And then the teaser after the battle is finished is that Chloe does find it, which is episode 14, Queen Wasp. We'll see Gabriel Audrey meet, revealing that they are friends from college, showing that they are like preset. And she's the one who discovered him. So this kind of sets up that, like, Gabriel is one of the few people Audrey actually shows any kind of emotion or attachment to, just because it's a previous life from her glamorous fame. Chloe uses the Miraculous, meeting Pollen. She causes chaos trying to do heroics and kind of make her own situations to look good. With everyone, including our heroes and her mother, disapproving of her in the end. This akumatizing her to Queen Wasp. This shows our first akumatization of the Miraculous users. LB promises that if they need the bee, that she'll return for her. But with her identity exposed, it's only if absolutely necessary. So because she just gave out who she was, if she just appeared as the Bee Miraculous, she probably would have been able to become the Bee more often. But with this straight up, like, hey, here's who I am, it's like we really need to have a need for the Bee Miraculous. The teaser is that Nadia, the reporter for the news channel, is wanting to have her own show, and she's getting a chance with a interview with Cat Noir and Ladybug, and this will be her shot. Kind of continuing on the Queen theme would be episode 15, Prime Queen. During during the pilot of her show, during her interview, sadly they barely give out any kind of information different from Alia's interview, which kind of means that Alia had the first exclusive and the information that they've already had. So basically, their interview, while it's getting redone, they get to meet them. They have like guest stars, but these aren't new things. This is why people are going to join and watch the show, because of new content. So to boost ratings, they do the proof of the Lady Noir, which is kind of them acting chummy, but definitely Dark Cupid happens as you know. Um, and because they're so like chummy that sometimes they do a platonic romance at times, which shows evidence. Um, Also showing like awkward moments. Um, and while we still get like the purring of Chat Noir, this kind of shows Ladybug more than anything. While she is against the idea, she doesn't vocalize it, so this doesn't like throw Shat off. But she's really starting to notice Shat's kind of acting weird when it comes to this kind of topic with him and what the relationship is. The teaser. Um, the news station is giving Nadia another chance for a show. Rather than interviewing, it's for exploring areas of Paris. It's very people of Akron. You'll know Fox 8 News. There was Kicking It with Kenny, which is kind of like, hey, this new spot here in Paris is nice. Or I went to this school and they did a little event. And then because her being more in her job, she needs to have a babysitter more often for her daughter, Marin. Manon. Sorry. Krillin's kid made a jump over the universe. Episode 16, Puppeteer, Nadia to the rescue. So while the heroes do technically lose this episode, Nadia is the reason why we win in the end. And this is the first victim who can be akumatized. And it doesn't need to be broken. It's just if you can actually reach the person, they can emotionally let go of what that's giving them power through the Akuma. We do get a teaser that Lila is seen playing. She's planning to be akumatized, which goes into episode 17, the chameleon. Lila starts to bully Marionette to a point she almost gets akumatized. Adrian picks up clues, and he gets basically he understands that Lila is a liar, so then that she's full of it. But it's also against when Ladybug explains that Mari almost got akumatized. Um, um, so Adrian finds clues, but him as Chat Noir gets told by Ladybug that she caught an Akuma that was trying to akumatize Marinette from the bullying. And this completely turns him on Lila. But they will not do anything publicly because she does have roots. Even though like a lot of celebrities don't know who this girl is, a lot of like street people have been doofed by her. And then we see everyone in the teaser not respecting Anthony, Chloe, and Audrey. And they proposed doing more drastic measures. So in episode 18, Lila and Chloe. Oh, the Miraculous. Okay. So because no one's respecting the bourgeois family, they kind of were like, okay, we gotta like go mean with it. And with this, when Lila and Chloe They've become friends after season one. They heavily blackmail Sabrina into being their friend, and force her to play the villain, um, constantly in a miraculous role play. And they want her to be. Oh, okay. So because her being put into the villain role, she's bullied basically, and she's wanting to be a hero. So that's why it turns into an akumatization. We do get my own OC creation in the teaser. A firefighter and cops have been feeling like they are useless with the heroes around. And this goes into episode 19, Dire Fire. So I personally do not like. Um, I am never gonna do anything with Copycat. They've been mentioned in the season one where like the statues were made, and Theo was shown to be the sculptor, and they did do a little thing about like turning him down with like any romantic ideas. But I think him getting replaced by someone that really matters and isn't something stupid like that. Also, it's just weird. Um, Shat and Ladybug kind of promise in the end after the akumatization that they'll kind of let things to the police and to the fire people unless it is a like life endangering thing, or it is too big for a simple crew. Um, and then we tease that Kim is swimming with a partner, who is his crush from Dark Cupid. Um, but she knows that he had a crush on Chloe. Okay, so before Kim becomes a part of the group, friend group, he does have a crush on Chloe, but it turned to her. Um, Odine, I think is her name. Um, so she doesn't think he likes her, and she has the idea that Chloe is his crush right now. With episode 20, Siren on Odine hints at her feelings, um, and we get a little bit of a Airhead Kim moment. Like, so Kim isn't a complete airhead like when we get with oh, what is it? The one episode where he like bullies Marinette when she had a crush on him. Um, he's an airhead, but he tries his best to do good by people. Um, Sometimes coming off as a jerk though. So because he's so enthusiastic about certain things, he does come off as a jerk every now and again. No offense, that doesn't mean he's smart. Um, so just because he means well doesn't mean in the end he's knowledgeable about what he's doing. Um, oh, and then after the Queen Battle of the Queens, Marinette is actually having more one-on-one time with Fu, which Shaq starts to kind of feel that um, Ladybug's starting to kind of like hold off on certain information because normally she's like they normally have their like how's your day going, but like she would slip probably that she's been meeting the Guardian and she can't reveal that to him at this moment. Um, let's see here. Um, it doesn't help that she returns with a swimming power up all of a sudden. This kind of makes Shat like, okay. So apparently there is something I don't know about that you do. But Ladybug is a good partner, asking to explain and meet. So basically, she goes out of her way, like she does in the original episode, to be like, "Hey, Fu, Shat's not feeling very in the loop. Can you bring him into it?" And this allows them to meet up in the end of the episode. We also have a lot more of the power ups available. So at the end, Fu is able to figure out all the formulas, give Marinette hers, and then when he travels to meet Adrian, he gives her his. The teasers, the picture for Prime Queen. Um, yeah, the picture from Dark Cupid, the Dark Cupid kiss, um, is on Marinette's computer, and she doesn't know how to feel about Shat, with her still having a more closer relationship to Adrian. And this kind of sets up for episode 21, Frozer. And this does show off the freezing power. We meet. Oh no, Anthony and Chloe are now um, threatening businesses that don't comply with them. Shat feels Ladybug is being cold to him recently with not much interaction, else than fights. So after the Prime Queen situation, she's trying to distance herself from Shat. Ladybug just says that she's been busy, not having time to hang around, and in truth, her time is taken more by Fu's teachings and her preparing. Um, okay, so because Shat is feeling abandoned by Ladybug, there's more time with Mari Shat. It's a platonic relationship. They're competitive and all that. And this is one of the things that I really wanted to put in this one. But it's just like her being taught by the Guardian and having more time with Shat as Marinette is taking up most of her time. And I think, and she thinks it's for the best to have those two be more prioritied rather than Ladybug having free time. The teaser is that Alia's little sisters are being pretty naughty, with episode 22 being Sepites. Elson the meaning, Elson meeting her little sisters, um, against her reporter instincts. She keeps the secret. Oh, so I don't know why I didn't write this in. Did I? Oh, okay, never mind. I skipped a line. So she finally gets the Fox Miraculous. We meet Trix. She becomes Rena Rouge. The biggest thing is against her reporter instincts, she does keep her identity a secret, and she does not report herself as a hero. Um, Allowing Ladybug to trust her with more. So basically, every now and again, she'll kind of go to Alia as the civilian, or like every now and again, she'll bring back Rena Rouge. Um, the teaser is that Alia's older sister um, is losing a match. So I wanted these two episodes to have more of Alia's family with her little sisters and getting her big sister um, going into episode 23, a Nazi. No. I think that's a Nazi. Um, Her older sister is a boxer who's a very prideful one at that. She's been having a winning streak. She's still new to the profession, and she gets ahead of herself a lot. And due to more frequent attacks by Hawkmoth, she pushes. Um, oh, okay. So yeah, as Hawkmoth's attacks get more frequent, and as villains get stronger, like Siren was just something like horrible. It drowned the entire city. Um, um, and she's starting to think that the two heroes are not going to be enough. And at this point, she does not know about Rena Rouge, and you know, Queen Bee isn't something on the table. Um, with Alia webbed up, we see Nino get the Turtle Miraculous and become Carapace. This obviously, um, it's obvious Alia knows it's him based on his lingo. We do get a teaser that I keep saying Andre or Andre. It's Adrian shows a book to Fu from Gabriel's library. So basically, when Fu comes to meet up with Adrian, he's able to show off the miraculous text. Um, and because it's not in like the painting, um, it's not obvious that he's hiding it. It's just a part of their library. Which, you know, people of power are going to just have random stuff sitting around for knowledge. Um, but of course, Gabriel's going to be angry that such a book is missing. And this goes into episode 24, Collector. Wait, what's it? Oh, okay. So this episode was mostly to set up the downfall of the bourgeois, set up Great Gabriel more, show the power ups. Um, we're getting all allies, and then the emotions and feelings are starting to get involved more often. Going into episode 24, Collector, Fu reveals that the book was from the Guardians of the Miraculous, giving them new formulas for powers, because he only did ones based on his memory at this point. Um, and they also gained more secrets about the Miraculous. Um, I think this is where they they learn that Hawkmoth may be after the wish that the Ladybug and Canoe Miraculous might provide if they combined. Um, Ladybug has been getting evidence that Gabriel is Hawkmoth with symbols of the butterflies in his branding. Um, him hiding away, not being very public. And the latest and biggest piece is Fu found out about the Hawkmoth wants the Miraculous to make a wish, which, so basically because they learn about the wish, they also learn that, like, hey, maybe you can bring someone back, which recently Gabriel lost a wife, which would give him proper motivation. Gabriel akumatizes himself to blame on the disappearance of his son. Oh, so basically, Adrian kind of walks away without telling his father. He gives it as a reason. So when he meets up with Ladybug, this gives him a reason to kind of cover up that he's Hawkmoth. Everything seems like Gabriel is clear. And then at the very end, he actually does transform into Hawkmoth. So basically, this is the ultimate, like, alright, the few little pieces of evidence, and then Ladybug being the detective showing it in our faces. I think this is the episode where we just do a straight up reveal. And this kind of sets up his big and massive plan for Heroes Day. We do get revealed Emily too. We tease that Gabriel goes underground with his secret butterfly lair. We see Emily's body is preserved. Gabriel turns into Hawkmoth, revealing. Um, oh, okay. Here's where. Okay, so I wanted him to have a bigger, like, all out, like, he is the reason for a lot of the akumatizations. It wasn't this person, that person. It was him pulling the strings. He rigged the votes for Stormy Weather. Uh, he rigged the votes for Dark Blade. He denied Adrian's party. Um, he uses Chloe and Dark Blade to change that, by the way, on the votes. Um, he reports Mr. Rumiere, Mr. Pigeon, to Roger. Um, Also, Gorilla, to kind of like set up see if Adriana is shat. That way it's like in your face, hey, yeah, this is why Gorzilla happened. Um, it shows his attitude during the Simon Says episode. He told Maylene's dad the wrong location. So during the mime, reason why the mime is Maylene's father is akumatized because he was very bad about showing up on time, and the director said, you show up one more time late, you're fired. And he is able to tap and like manipulate that. He reported anarchy to Roger. He gave Jagged. He gave Pixelator. What did he do? So he gave a way in for Pixelator. So the hotel is normally on high security. He gave Pixelator a way in. He got into the goings on about the music festival to get Jagged Stone. He paid the judges in Kung Fu. He messed with Audrey in the fashion show to make her prime queen. No, not prime queen. Style queen. He basically spammed and made anonymous accounts for bad reviews for the ice skating rink. And left a bunch of comments. He paid for a Nazi to lose, so he threw the fight for a Nazi, and he knew that his book went missing and that someone was on to him, and he needed a cover-up plan, and that is why Collector happened. So basically, almost half of this series at this point, Gabriel orchestrated the whole thing. Now that his identity was safe again, he planned to do stuff on. He planned to do stuff with the Heroes Day. Going into episode 25 and 26, our part 2 finale for Heroes Day. A new school year, like I said, it's the 10th year. It's a year since the heroes have came out into the open. Very similar to how it went about. I don't think he has Volpine on speed dial here. I think he just kind of like manipulated it to where they would show chaos, like do something with the heroes still. I mean, if anything, I would just say go ahead and throw Volpina back in there. Um, Dark Cupid, the Force Negative. So basically, he makes Dark Cupid to force negative emotions. He uses Mr. Pigeon to cover the skies. He uses Animan to track. He uses Gorzilla as the muscle. He uses Princess Fragrance to make soldiers. He makes Riposte for combat. So one of the hardest hand-to-hand combat was Riposte. He uses Prime Queen to cover the event. And then he does Guitar Villain and Frightened Gale to kind of put on a show. Style Queen, Despair Bear, and Malik Dictator are used to get Chloe into the Queen Wasp acclimatization. Nino and Alia, they do know each other when they're given the Miraculous. After Chloe is turned, them caring too much about one another now that they know their identities, it gets them off guard and gets akumatized as well into Rena Rage and Shell Shock. Oh, no. Actually, I'm changing. It's not going to be Rena Rage and it's not going to be Shell Shock. It was going to be Terror Tortoise and Feral Fox. And having Shine Noir and Ladybug run away be the end of the episode, kind of showing a bitter end to episode 25. Going into episode 26, most villains are on the hunt. With all the help of Paris' citizens, they get a way in. They're able to find a path to get to Hawkmoth. And they stop his power up to release most of the akumatizations. And as they're starting to corner him, Queen Bee shows up, Rena Rouge, Carapace, and they start to corner him. And then the giant Hawkmoth monster thing, which is the giant hornet-looking thing, appears. We do see Gabriel's face kind of recognize something, and his face falls. So something's happening. He recognizes that something is happening with that hornet. There's a deeper meaning to his emotional on his face. The heroes are gusted away. Oh, and then following her fall in battle, so because Chloe couldn't go against, it was so easy to get underneath Chloe's skin, they bench her. And they promise to watch her behavior to possibly right down the road give her back to be miraculous. But with such a thing happening, it's like you are way too of a risk. Because it puts too many people in harm's way. And then the last thing... Oh, and then the last thing I said before I'm done here is that Natalie is going to be a secret for season 3, because her being a second person would be a good reveal. Not to mention, it's kind of like we don't know about the Peacock Miraculous, else than if you looked at the Miraculous box when Fu brings it out, you wouldn't recognize that that's missing. And then we don't know why it's been missing, or why, if Hawkmoth has it, why hasn't it been used? So I really want to set all that stuff up for season 3. I am in the current of writing that, but we are going into the 31 days of Christmas, so there's a high chance we will not be returning to this for a little bit. Let's see here. There's my Five Nights at Freddy's stuff. There's my timeline. Okay, here we go. So as of right now, I'm only on episode 2, just because there's a lot of setup, and it's already taking up our entire first page. I think for the first 3 episodes, it's going to take a lot of episodes. Um, the biggest thing with season 3, though, is like we're introducing a lot of the new heroes, and I kind of can't have them. I need to have them in the B section of season 3, and then I'm trying to like just organize how the episodes are gonna go. Once that happens, I can just make it. So be on the lookout for season 3 being made. Um, I'm going to hopefully finish up Cat Noir either by tonight or this weekend. That way we at least have 2 of the redrawings. I'm trying to do other projects right now, so it's kind of like a mixed bowl. But anyways, I got to get going. I got to go to Thanksgiving, and I need to upload this. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.